Hello guys, today we are going to walk through one of the CCNA Classic Lab that released on, I guess, 2012, but I found these materials on April 2014 when I first started my career as a network engineer in the ISP. It was really fun and challenging at the time doing all these labs, and today we're gonna take a look into it. So we have an ACL lab from Ranet running in the packet tracer right now. And anyone who wants to pass CCNA routing and switching need to understand the ACL lab before they move on. And there was a trick passing the access list lab. So let's get started. So if you see the description here, we have 5 tasks to complete. We have to enable the IP address on the interface that's connecting to the ISP gateway and the Ranet BR. And then we will have to enable an interface that connects to the LAN. And then we're gonna have to configure routing web version 2 to around the to exchange the route with the Ranet BR, and then we're gonna have to do the default route to allow the connection to the internet. And the last thing we have here is the main event. It is the access list. We're gonna have to allow the admin host to telnet to the Ranet Co switch here. And then we're gonna have to deny the host 1 to connect to the web server here. And after that, any traffic beside these commands should be allowed. It is IP access list denied anyone know this. But if we take a look at the remark here, the examiner said that we're gonna have to configure a command as short as possible to gain the 100% completion. Okay, so let's get started. First, we need to connect to the router here. And then in a real life, we can have to use our computer. We can connect to the router here directly. Then I move on to the terminal. And if you see the bit per sec here, for Cisco default, we use 96,000. Let's see the configuration inside. We hit enable for running. Okay, we have a default configuration here. First, we need to enable an IP address on the LAN here, and then on the WAN to connect to the internet here, and the WAN to the Ranet BR here. And the examiner said that it's going to be the first IP address for both WAN, and it's going to be the last IP address for both WAN, but it's going to be the first IP address for the LAN. Okay, so let's get started. First, we need to see the interface description. You can go to options and preference, and then you can click always show port labels. Alright. And then connect to the router again. Go to config terminal and then interface. We're gonna start with 0/0/0. So the last IP of the subnet, which is 98. Okay. Yes. And then /30, which is 255, 255, 255, and 252. Shut down. And then we will go to the interface 0, 0/1/0, and no shutdown. And then the IP address for this WAN is 2.203.144.7. The /30, the easy is 254. Then 52. Sorry. Address. Okay. And then hit exit. And we will configure the LAN interface, the fast Ethernet 0/0. We can use configure. We can use the show CDP neighbor also if you have a connection with Cisco device. So you can see it here. And then configure interface fast 0/0. No shutdown. So for the LAN interface 172.22.3.50. So let's manually calculate this IP address. So we have 27. You can for the easiest way you can use this technique. Okay, 27, which is 1 host, 2 hosts, 4 hosts is multiplied 16 and okay 32. We separate it to 30 hosts. And for the first group, that will be 172.22.3.0 to 172.22.31. All right. And then the second group with 32 and 32 to 63. Okay. So for the first IP address for this subnet would be 2.22.3.32 and /27. We have 255 minus the 32. Actually, we have to calculate it from 254 because we have 255 IP address for one octet. Let's see, for 1 octet, but it will count from 0 to 254, which is 255. Okay, so from this we're gonna have to use 254 minus 32. That would be 255.224. And then this here. 3. And then 224. Shut down. That's it. And then let's see the result. Okay. The RIP, the default route, and the AC out. And then exit. We have to configure routing, which is the RIP version 2. So the command for the RIP version 2, router, no, router, no, router, no, IP router, oh, sorry, router, RIP, okay, and then version 2, we're going to throw the 172.22/16 to the BR. Okay, so we will use the network 72.22.0.0, and then hit enter. And we also have to configure no auto summary in this case, and then exit. And for the default route, we need to throw the traffic through the WAN internet. We will use the router, no, IP route, and then 0, 0, 0. You can use the WAN IP address also, but in this case we need to use the we need to throw the default route to the WAN interface, because preventing changing an IP address along the way. So we will terminate the traffic to the 0/1/0 in this case. Alright, perfect. And then one more thing, we will use you can use the right config, but I prefer to, but for some lab, you're gonna have to use the copy running config command to the startup config command, because for some lab it prevents you to use the WR. Alright, perfect. And then we check the result again. What do we miss? The only main event is the ACR 100. And then we go back to the lab. And then for the access list, we're gonna have to use the access list number 100. And actually there are many ways to implement the access list here. But for this lab, we're gonna have to use a command as short as possible as we can. So we're gonna have to the wildcard here to prevent the host 1 and host 2 to connect to the core switch. So then we will use the config terminal and then access list 100 and then deny TCP 2.22.3.52 in this case. We're gonna prevent 52, 53, 54, and 55 to connect to the Ranet Co switch. And then we will use the wildcard 000.3 in this case. And then to host 22.3.90 equal telnet. Okay, absolutely perfect. And then we will have to deny host 1 to connect to the internet. We will use the access list 100 and then deny TCP host 22.3.53 and then we hit any and then equal World Wide Web, or we can also use 80. Okay. I will use World Wide Web better. And then for the last command for an access list 100 would be the access list 100 and permit IP any and any. Okay, so we can hit N and then check the result again. But for the real, if you are going to take the exam, you cannot check the result. But in this case, we can check it in order to learn. Okay, we have to input the access list 100 into the LAN interface, and that's it. I will, okay, sorry, to connect to again, and interface the fast Ethernet 0/0. And then what command do we have to use here? IP access list group, and then okay, and then okay in, and that's it. Copy running configuration, startup configuration. Okay, here we go. We check the result again. Okay, we have completed this activity. And we get 100%. But we're gonna have to check the, we're gonna have to cross check again to make sure that that our access list is implementing correctly. We can go to the admin host and then telnet. Command prompt telnet to 32 3 all right. Alright, perfect. For the host 1 and host 2, we cannot be connected to the Ranet Co switch. Alright. Alright, good job. Host 1 and tell the admin host again. That's it. Okay, perfect. And then the host 1 cannot be connected to the Ranet web server. Where the admin host and the host 2 can okay. Okay, we still have around 5 minutes left, but that's it for today, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.